Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Today we're going to be playing some more Mage Knight. Yes. Now, I hope you're either already familiar with Mage Knight or you watched my first video in which I did the what is it called? The first reconnaissance scenario, which is the intro scenario, very tutorial sort of baby mode. But I went through all the basics of how to play Mage Knight in that one, and I'm not going to go through all the basics in this one because we wanna get cracking on it. So I saw that there was this fan-made one, First Conquest, a simple solo scenario aimed at bridging the gap between First Reconnaissance and Full Conquest. Awesome. So we have just one city. When there's a single city, and when it's conquered, we have one last turn before scoring. So we just got to take one city, and we'll figure out how to do that. We have 5 rounds to do it, which is an eternity, it feels like. And we're gonna do it. We're not going to really play with any mods. I don't think that's a good idea, but we are going to use the alternate monster tokens. I did look at them. They seem pretty slick and modern. I'll agree with that. I don't think they're necessarily better. I don't think it's straight better. It's subjective, but at least I'll show them to you and we can kind of decide how we feel about it. Beyond that, I don't think we want to play with any of the variants or anything. We're not ready for that. As far as our Mage Knight of choice, let me just confirm, because I don't know which one of these is from the expansions or from whatever stuff or not. Okay, so the base game, based on the back of the box here, has Arithia, Goldix, Tobac, and Moroas. Okay, so we played as Arithia last time. Let's play as Noroas. And I don't care who we have for the dummy knight, I guess. I guess it does matter slightly as far as the skills that come up available for you. So it does matter ever so slightly, I suppose. But we'll just play random. What do I know about anything? Okay. All right. We're all set. So our starting tile is not identical to what it was last time. This looks like a city, but that can't be the case. Does it show on here? It's a maze. Adventure site maze. May enter a maze is your action. If you do so, you can choose one ready unwounded unit to accompany you. You cannot use any unit other than the chosen one during the entire action, then choose a path and fight. Move 2, 4, or 6. Move points left from the move phase cannot be used for this. Then you draw and fight a brown enemy token. Whether you defeat it or not, discard it afterwards. Next time, a new token will be drawn. If you defeat it, claim a reward according to the amount of moves points you have paid. 2 crystals of your choice for 2 move points. A spell for 4 move points, or an artifact for 6 move points. Another player may enter the maze, but we'll have to choose another path. No player may successfully conquer the same maze twice, and each path may only be conquered once. Interesting. So it's a little fancy way of defeating a brown enemy token. And then you can get a couple crystals, a spell, or ideally an artifact. Although spells are pretty powerful. I looked at some of them. There's also deep mines. If you end a turn on a mine, choose and gain 1 mana crystal, one of the colors the mine produces to your inventory. Okay, not too complicated. And a refugee camp. You can interact to recruit units here. You may consider this to be any of the depicted sites, but some of them have increased recruitment cost. Okay. Other than that, mostly the same. Walls. To cross a wall on the map, you have to pay 1 extra move point. Terrain discounts cannot negate this extra cost. When challenging rampaging enemies across the wall, consider the enemies to be fortified. Walls count as site fortifications. When attacking another player or Volcaire across the wall, consider it hard to be fortified. Your move does not provoke rampaging enemies if the target space of that move is separated from the enemy by a wall. They will never attack you across the wall. Okay, that's pretty handy. So here we have the new and improved tokens. So they actually have kind of modern digital art and everything. This one has 2 armor, but is fortified and has physical resistance. Does 7 damage, and then has an extra effect. Cumbersome. This enemy's attack can be reduced by the amount of move a player spends. Okay. Okay, interesting. It's worth 4 fame. And then there appears a keep behind a wall. Interesting. You either got to go through the maze or... Okay, and there's also a village. On a hill, there's a dungeon, a monster den. Red mana. And a red and white mana. Okay. Our starting hand. We have Threaten. Gives influence 2 or 5 with red. Crystallize. Let's just get a crystal out of a basic mana. Or a crystal of any color. Swiftness, move 2, range attack 3. Noble Manners, influence 2. You get a fame if you use this during interaction. Or spend a white mana to get influence 4, fame +1, and reputation +1. And then attack or block 2. Or block 5. Okay, and the mana we got on tap is 2 greens and a black. A useless black. So useless shit ass. That's not great. We have no green cards, and black is useless, so not awesome. Then I might take Great Start just to hope we fish into a green mana. We could take Rethink to discard some and hope for some green mana too. Sort of depends on if we... What's our game plan? Our game plan is to get to the village? What's on offer in the village here? Just peasants. Peasants aren't the worst thing, though. They're pretty flexible. Attack or block 2, influence 2, or move 2. It's not the worst. We can get that with influence 4. Which we can do with Noble Manners and Threaten combined without spending any mana. That's not bad. We need a certain amount of movement, though. 5. And that's going to be a problem. So I either need to... I think we'll... If I don't draw a green card, I guess I would crystallize the green. But Determination is pretty useless in my opening hand. So, Great Start does really shorten the first round. I'm gonna rethink. And we're gonna dump Determination and Crystallize. Well, we got a green. That doesn't really help, unfortunately. Okay, he ended up with planning. Yeah, it didn't really help. I can do... Ah, fuck. That's a bummer. We can do the bottom part of Concentration to get a stronger effect. But the problem with that... Okay, no, that's fine. Well, no, it's not fine. We need 5 move, and there's just no way we're getting 5 move. Not this turn. So I think our first turn is actually going to be quite lame. Yeah, I think our first turn is mostly just playing Swiftness and moving 2. That doesn't seem good. I should have drawn 2 extra cards. I regret everything. We're not going to restart, though. I'm not going to be a baby bitch. What's that? I'd have to dump 3 cards at this point. And that's just not worth it. We might do that next time. I'm not ruling it out, but we're not doing that this time. So we have to hope that the dummy player plays nicely. And that's not good. That's not good. Okay. However, we did draw a green march card, so that is excellent. We can do that with this, except hold the phone, stop the record. If we do that, we can't spend a green on concentration, and I don't know how I feel about that, because I would actually like the noble manners to get extra fame and reputation right away. It seems like a smooth play. So we're going to do this, we're going to do this. That gets us move 3. That gets us onto the village. And then we're going to play concentration with the green, with this. And that gets us influence 4, and we get a fame and a reputation to do so. And we can now claim our peasants. Hot damn. Yes, and I can use them right away to move next turn, but we'll see what we roll. Now, I don't think it'll actually calculate this because it doesn't know exactly what I'm doing, so we'll have to manually gain a fame and a reputation. Did we start? No, we started here. Okay, no, that's correct. We can also plunder this village. We would lose that reputation that I just got, but we would get 2 extra cards to draw. It sort of depends on if I have a plan, so I think we should think before we do that. We have Rejuvenate, heal 1, draw a card, gain a green mana token, or ready a level 1 or 2 unit. So I can do one of those 4 things. That seems to be the, I would imagine. It's otherwise pretty powerful for a basic card. I can double check if it would make you feel better. Yeah, so you can do one of them. Okay. It lets us ready the peasants, I suppose, or we could draw a card, or I could gain the green mana token, but we still have the source. The question is, I don't think we want to confront the maze, but maybe. But remember, we have to spend 2 cards to do that. I have to spend 3 to move onto it, and then I have to spend 2 to even attempt the maze. Here, I would just have to spend 3 to move on to it. Yeah. Which is already kind of annoying. I do have 2 rage cards, a nice amount of attack or block. However, I don't have any mana to spend on red. I think probably I do want to plunder it, to be honest. There we go. Okay, we got a decent amount of move now. Alternatively, we could move 6 to get onto this mine and get a red mana. We're burning through cards to do that. But I could do this with the green. And then we could also do this. And that would get us 6 to get here. I probably should think this through first, but we can take it all back if I disagree. Then we could use Rejuvenate to ready our peasant again. He's got very little health, but he does have physical resist, so I have to do 4 damage. I do have a fuck ton of movement, though. Alright, let's do Rejuvenate, and then we'll hold off. We'll get our red mana crystal this turn. We might spend it next turn. Also, I didn't process the dummy turn, so that was my bad. Okay. Otherwise, yeah, we're good. We're going very slowly. Oh, I have to manually do that. Okay. Alright. So we got our red mana crystal. And we can spend movement as block. Essentially. Well, not really. We reduce his attack by movement. But it's similar. We only have to do 4 damage, so I only have to do 1. I have to do this with 1 with my crystal. But we're going to end on this playing again anyways, so that's going to happen for attacking. We have blue, so we can reduce that by 4, so that brings it down to 3 attack. I could take a wound, but I think we'll just block with the peasants. So that lowers it to, let's see, 4, 6, so it's down to 1. So then we'll just play the other rage to block 2 alongside it. And then our other rage 4 to kill it. And that is a kill. And then that's good. Yeah, we're good with that. And then we level up. Okay, we get another red crystal. We get a skill, Inspiration. Once per round, except during combat, flip this to ready or heal a unit. I like that. Forward March. Get move 1 for each ready and unwounded unit you control to a max of 3 move. That's every turn. It's not bad. It's better later. Better later. Once I can get 2 units at least. Then a free 2 move every single turn is kind of cracked. That's really nice. Assuming they're ready and unwounded. But how often do I have dudes that are ready all the time? So it's hard to say. I'm going to go with Inspiration, I guess. I think it'll always be useful. Wolfhawk put in Taunt. Once per turn during the block phase, either reduce one attack of an enemy by 1 or increase 1 attack of an enemy by 2 and reduce armor of the same enemy by 2. The armor reduction does not happen if the enemy is prevented from attacking. So if you have enough block but not quite enough damage, you can make that work. Or you can just reduce the attack to maybe make your block work or take less wounds. That's not a bad one. I like the once per turn stuff quite a lot. It just comes up so much. But then we also get an advanced action. Chivalry. Attack 3 or attack 2 and reputation +1 for each enemy defeated by this attack. White mana, attack 6 or attack 4 and reputation +1 and fame +1 for each enemy defeated by this attack. Okay, that's pretty great. Firebolt, though, gain a red crystal to your inventory. Red mana, ranged, fire attack 3. Just solid stuff. They're just solid stuff, man. Magic talent. Discard a card of any color. You may play 1 spell card of the same color in the spell offer this turn as if it were in your hand. That card remains in the spell's offer. Okay. So, to play a spell card, you have to spend a mana. Like this one, you have to spend blue mana to get ranged ice attack 5. I mean, that's really good, but you always have to spend mana. So this one's a little... is an advanced card, I would say. You spend a blue mana on this. When you play this, pay a mana of any color, gain a spell card of that color from the spell's armor, put it in your discard pile. That's pretty wild. That is honestly kind of crazy. But it's not quite the workhorse that, like, the Firebolt is. I do like Chivalry. I don't think that's bad. It's not bad. We're gonna go with Firebolt, though. I don't know. I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. Let it be known. We're all good. Process that dummy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now that's... Let me clarify. Is this a different book? This is a different. This is like the full actual rule book. Dummy player. If their deck is empty, they announce the end of the round. Okay, so next turn they will announce end of the round, and then it will have one more turn after that. So we got 2 turns. I think that's about right. We did get our Firebolt right away. We also got mana draw, so we can use 1 additional source die. We can take the white, though, and then use the bottom effect, in order to take a mana die, such as black, and set it to any color except gold, and then we gain 2 tokens of that color, and we do not re-roll it. So we could set it to, say, blue. We get 2 blue tokens, and then next turn we would also have a blue die in the source. That's not bad. And then we could use those tokens to crystallize it. It's coming together. We definitely want to explore. I don't think we want to go back to the den or anything. I just don't feel super confident in handling this. Although with a ranged fire attack 3, it's not bad. It's not bad, but I just don't have... Okay, well, we're definitely using this to ready him. That's unquestionably correct. Yeah, I think we're going to start with a mana draw. We're going to use that. We're going to set this one to blue. And that gives us 2. And then we're going to just put that back so it doesn't re-roll it. So we got 2. We're probably going to crystallize one of them, but for now we're going to use stamina, move 4, and we're going to be able to move here and then explore. All right, we got Wolf Riders. Tricky. They have 4 armor. I can't snipe that with the Firebolt, unfortunately, but it makes for an easy kill afterwards. The bigger problem is they have swiftness. So to block this, I need 6 block. Determination with the other token can do that pretty easily. Well, not easily. I'd have to still dump a card or use the peasants. Alternatively, we just wait a turn. We'll get some extra cards. Also, we reveal here fire golems. Great, and I just picked up Firebolt. Fantastic! Okay. Well, we want to spend this other one. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna use Crystallize. So we don't throw away this blue token. But otherwise, that's fine, and I think we're good. If the whole end of the round is just me killing this Wolf Riders, that's fine, because I think we'll level up off that, and that's fine. Ooh, we even got red source if we want. Call end of round. Alright, so we're gonna attack this bitch. Oh, Swiftness! Swiftness has range attack 3, too. Unfortunately, I can't use both, so that's a no-go. I don't really want to spend a crystal if I can avoid it, so no on that. I'm just gonna pull this in. Technically, that's only when you kill it, but lets me see it a little easier. So, yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to... Definitely not going to be able to do that. So if we do this with this, that's block 6. Then we can play Peasants for attack 2. End of thought. My hope was that I might be able to use the Firebolt to just get a red crystal, which would be really nice. But, yeah, unfortunately that's not... Well, no, it's not. It's not going to happen. This has to be block 5, right? There's just no other way. That's just the smartest option. Alternatively, we do red here to dump swiftness for block 5. No. The math isn't mathing, I would say. Because he's attacking. Okay, but wait a minute, no. If we do this, but I have to discard a card to get that. No, it's not mathing. Alternatively... Okay, wait a minute. No, never mind. Well, no, never mind. If he's blocks... I need 6 block, though. I have to do the bottom of this. That has to be blue. We're not getting 6 block otherwise. We're already just like, So that has to be blue. And then he blocks, and that's done. So then I have to muster up 4 damage, which I cannot, while keeping both my cards. Yeah, it just doesn't work. I either have to... Okay, well... Yeah, okay. Then we're going to gain... Okay, then we'll do it this way. So blue on this, block 5, block 2. Then we'll put this crystal here and discard this with it. And that becomes attack 5. He dies. Right, done. And then we just play Firebolt on its own afterwards to gain that red crystal back. Fair? Fair. We don't gain a red crystal, but we don't lose a red crystal. I don't know if that's better than just... It's not. It's essentially the same thing had I just discarded this as an attack 1. And this... Or no, had I just dumped this to be an attack 3 and then dumped this as an attack 1. Like, it's the same end result. I'm just being fancy for some reason. Maybe there was a way to make this work where I actually got an extra crystal out of it, but I don't see it, so... Fuck it, I'm not going to sit here all day. I'll take it. Okay, so we leveled up to 3, which means our armor went up, and we got an extra command token, so that's good. These are out of the game. It is now nighttime. Nighttime is the right time. Once per turn before you use mana from the source, you may reroll up to 2 mana dice in the source. That's really not a bad effect. I kind of like that quite a bit. Unless we wanted to do a mulligan at some point this night. It doesn't have to be right now. Or we could put a card into our hand. Well, let's look at the situation. There's a village next to us. That's something. We can get scouts. or we can get Herbalists. Not really thrilled about either of them, I suppose. The Scouts have Siege Attack 1, or you can take a look at a face-down token within 3 spaces on the map, or the top token of any unused enemy token pile. If you defeat that token this turn, gain +1 fame. Or move 2, and you may reveal a new tile at a distance of 2 spaces instead of 1. I don't really love any of this shit, to be honest. I also don't envision a world where I defeat the Fire Golem, though. So he has Fire Attack 3, which means your physical and fire blocks are halved in value, which means to fully block this, I need to put up 6 block. I could grab my specific card that gives me block 5. We do have blue. And then we can just throw some other card on top of it. He also has physical resistance, though. Meaning that I have to put up 8 damage, and I cannot use my Firebolt for Fire Attack 3. We could go to the village, plunder it, and then attempt it, and I could fish first for the block 5. It's not the worst idea, I think, that has ever been conceived in the history of mankind. Right? It's not insane. Honestly, though, if I got concentration... Oh, but he's fortified. Damn it. No, he needs siege attacks. Damn it. Okay, never mind. It's not the worst idea. So I think we're actually going to go for preparation. Okay, he's going to go first. It's a bit of a bummer. We're going to search our deck for determination, which is block 5. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but we'll give it a shot. We do have a blue crystal and a red crystal. Process that, dummy. Fuck! Okay, this is not going to be a long night. We'll see what we can do. So we're just going to move 2. Honestly, if like the only thing I do is take out this mage tower and kill the fire golem, I'll be pretty pleased. Yeah, so I'm actually going to use the peasants to move 2 onto this village. Now, we can purchase scouts, except I don't really have much influence outside of improvisation, and there isn't a red source, so I'm not inclined to do so. Yeah, and it wouldn't really help too much, so I'm gonna let it sit. I hate to not use source if I have it, though, but there isn't a play here. Now, I mean, one thing I could do, yeah, we could play improvisation and dump, say, stamina in order to get influence 3. That would allow us to pick up the herbalist, which we would then use to gain a green mana token, which we could play the bottom or rejuvenate to draw 2 more cards. Like, we could basically hoard up a massive amount of cards to ensure that we take this round, or this turn, this round. On the flip side, though, being able to play it as a potential attack 5, pretty phenomenal. Because there's no guarantee I draw into concentration at any point here, which is what I was kind of hoping for to make swiftness like a range attack 5. Not to range attack this or anything, but just as an attack 5. But yeah, well, okay. Yes, because then we don't necessarily have to plunder. I can make the decision to not plunder. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna dump stamina. And that gives us influence 3, and then we're gonna pick up Herbalist. Actually, I could pick up Scouts too, because I have +1. But I don't think that's better. I'm gonna go Herbalist. We're gonna use that right away to get the green mana token, put it on Rejuvenate, and I'm gonna draw 2 cards. Fuck! Okay, it's pure move, so that's no good. We're gonna have to plunder. I'm not doing anything else on this turn. End turn. Yep. We're gonna plunder. Ah, fuck. That didn't help at all. This is terrible. This is gonna be damn rough. Okay. Fine. That's not great. It's not great. It's not great. Okay, let's try to math out something here. No siege, so we have to block. We have to block 3, but really we have to block 6. Determination. Determination with this. Correct. Now I could wound somebody. I could wound like the Herbalist. There are worse ideas. Oh, I also have to move onto it, which is 3 move. Yeah, I don't think that's a big problem, though. Okay, so we'd have to move that onto it. That's fine. We could wound, so we could block 5, wound the Herbalist, and then it would be over. Right, because he would take a wound, he would tick it down by 2. Oh, no, but if you don't block the whole thing, that's true. No, that's true. If you don't block the whole thing, he takes the whole thing. So he would take 3. We could wound the peasants then, and they would take it down to 0. Okay, so, okay, fine. Which means that we don't even need to block anything. We can just say, screw it. And we just let the peasant get hit. Easy. Then we need to generate attack. Unfortunately, Determination does not have a powerful attack, but we can do this. That's ranged attack 3. We can do this. That's attack 2. We still need like 2 more. And I think you just can't play a basic card in that case. It's not that his armor is doubled, right? Or is it always a minimum of 1? Oh, it's probably under. Okay, and it's why this book's not so hot, so it's gonna be somewhere. It's just the scenarios then. It's crazy. All physical attacks, including cards played sideways, are inefficient. Halved. I gotta Google it. I just need to make sure, and I'm sure it probably does say specifically. Okay, I need to tighten my search here. Hold on. Tighten it up. I think every question has like countless discussions about it. Okay, when totaling the final value, total the value of all inefficient ones, divide by 2, round down, and then add the full value of all efficient ones. Okay, so no, we can, it just counts as basically a half. It counts as a half, it doesn't count as 0. Okay, where the fuck was I? So we played this as 3, okay, so we're gonna total up everything then, and that needs to result in 4 or more. So we're at 5. We need 8 total. Essentially. So I can dump all 3 of these sideways, and that would be 8. Alternatively, we can just play the Firebolt with the red crystal. I think that's not bad, because I don't think I want to burn 3 cards here just to do it. So we'll burn the crystal. Okay. I think that's our plan. So we're going to move on to this. That moves there. We're going to be wounding the peasants. I mean, I could wound myself. It would just be 1 wound card in my hand, which isn't the end of the world. We're next to a village. If I wanted to, we could go there and spend some influence. Or if I get a green token, I mean, we can just use it on we could ready the herbalist and you have him heal. It's not the worst thing, I think, to take a wound, but it's also generally pretty easy to heal a unit. I think the only exception is the magical glade, really. We'll wound the peasant for now. Yeah, I think that's okay. So that's it. That's a success then. We got him. We will lose a reputation for assaulting this place, but we'll get it, which is pretty good. Mage Tower conquered. Alright, so our rewards for conquering the Mage Tower. We gain a spell as our reward, and then any player can recruit units and buy spells here. Spells can be bought for 7 influence, plus a mana that is the same color as the spell being bought. So we get a free spell. We have Wings of Wind. When you play this, spend 1 to 5 move points and move 1 revealed space on the map for each. You must end your movement in a safe space. Moving this way does not provoke rampaging enemies. So you ignore all movement costs. You just get to move one space for every move. But you have to play that card, a white mana, and move cards. If we have black mana, again, nighttime typically. Wings of Night, target enemy does not attack this combat. You may target additional enemies. Pay 1 move point for the second enemy, 2 move points for the third enemy, etc. Because yes, we could eventually get into fights with more than one thing at a time. Chill, blue mana. Target enemy does not attack this combat. If it has fire resistance, it loses it for the rest of the turn. Well, that would have saved us some trouble on this asshole golem or whatever. Lethal Chill. Target enemy does not attack this combat and gets armor -4 to a minimum of 1 for the rest of the turn. It's pretty nasty. And then Flame Wall, red mana. Fire attack 5 or fire block 7. It's pretty slick. Red and black Flame Wave, fire attack 5 or fire block 7. This attack or block gets increased by 2 for each enemy token you are facing. So bare minimum fire attack 7 or fire attack 9. I think they all have value. I want to say, I don't know. I have the fire bolt, which means I can get red mana pretty reliably or somewhat reliably. So I guess I lean towards Flame Wall. Okay, and that's it. So we get Flame Wall right away. We also have Concentration now, which would allow us to do Noble Manners. We can get Scouts here, since they're available everywhere, but the Utem Swordsmen are only available in keeps, and this doesn't refresh until the next round. Yeah, you can't. I'm pretty sure you can't use concentration to get Flame Wave because it just says action card. This is a spell card, so it's 2 different things. We can play concentration theoretically to get 6 move though. I think we probably want to move onto this hill and then explore, so that's not a bad idea. We're going to do that. The alternative would be to move to the village and then do concentration on Noble Manners, 6 influence. But I don't think we even need to do that. But mostly it's just to get fame and reputation, to heal the peasants. I don't know if that's something I desperately value or anything. We only need 3 influence to do it. But yeah, I suppose. But I'm moving even further away from the edge. Oh, we should process the dummy. Okay. Well, there's likely another village here, so I think let's hold off a little bit. Let's hold off a little bit. I think we want to crystallize, though. We can... Yeah, we can do that, and then we can get a crystal of any color. I don't think I want red necessarily. I mean, red's good, but we're going to go with green for now. Then I could spend that right away, but I think more likely I'm going to flip this to ready him. I'm going to use that right away again to get a green token. And we're going to use that on March to move 4. And then I'm really not planning on using Flame Wall this round. But I also don't know if I'm going to do any influencing this round. Well, we're kind of hoping, I guess. So we're going to use that sideways, which you are allowed to do. I looked it up. And that's 5 moves. Then, yeah, let's go in the desert. And then explore. That was an unfortunate decision. Now the village is quite far away. But we can explore here as well next time. I think that's it. I think we're going to end turn. God, I ended up blue again. Fuck me. Okay. Couple more turns. Yeah, it's all blue, and we got nothing for blue, so that's really unfortunate. We also have no movement of any kind. I have to just dump cards. At this point, I don't think we're doing any fighting, so don't even question it. So this is a really lame turn. Well, I can use concentration for the top part of it to gain a blue, white, or red token. Yeah, I don't think we have much here, so we're just going to do these two as an explorer. Okay, so another keep in front of us, so maybe we could do combat. There's also a ruin. This would be flipped over if we were during the day, but it's not at night. So this could be either an altar. Well, no, it's always an altar, isn't it? It's just what type of altar it is. What is this book? This doesn't even mention altars in this book. Are you serious? I can't do a control F. What? It's definitely in the thing. Okay, well. There will either be an altar there or enemies to fight. Okay, one of the two. I don't think we want to move on that then. The keep, we could. We also would see that if this were daytime, but we'd have to go sight unseen. Either way, I think we're ending the turn here. And just seeing how it goes. Yeah. Fine. I know, we're being really lackadaisical here. So we got Rage and Swiftness. Now this is on a hill, so I'd have to spend 3 move to get there. It's almost certainly, though, we're not going to be influencing anything. We could alternatively basically dump our whole hand and get onto this mine and next to a village. It's certainly a more cowardly thing to do, but it might actually be the smartest thing. We get a white crystal to start the next round with. We're next to a village if we want to heal our peasants or maybe purchase something. And then we're pretty close to 2 more exploring. It's kind of nice to explore to pick off some easy stuff. So, yeah, I guess we're going to do that. I don't know if it's the most efficient thing I could possibly do. No, nothing I ever do is going to be the most efficient thing I could do. But it's the safest thing I can do. So, done. Thank you. Right, so I forfeited my turn. So I do not get the stuff off of the mine. I do not get 2. I had to have played a card. That was kind of the downside. If I had kept 1 card extra, I think we could have discarded that and actually counted it as a real turn. A bummer. It worked out that way. I don't think there was anything I could have done. Jeez, 3 whites and 2 blues. Oof. All right. I think a great start is probably what we're looking at. We've got 2 rages. I got Firebolt. I got Flame Wall. Unfortunately, this didn't come up red, so we don't actually have that much red mana, but... yes, we're going to do it. Okay. Man of Steel. Process it. God damn it! Fuck. Okay, this is also going to be a short round. I gotta beat a city at some point, man. Alright, we're moving on to the village. And I don't really want to plunder it, but I mostly want to go there to... Let's look at our selection here. Ooh, we can get crossbowmen. That's a solid option. 6 influence, though. I don't have any influence available. But we could, we could use the Herbalist to get a green token and then draw 2 cards with Rejuvenate. Yes, that is quite tempting. Okay, we're going to use Swiftness then. And that's going to move us on to the village, which should reveal the keep. Crossbowmen. Okay, so they're fortified. We need siege attacks to actually hit them. I also have Swiftness, so that's 8 that we have to block. But we have Flame Wall with Fire Block 7, if we can get the res. So Firebolt for a red crystal, and then use it for Fire Block 7. It's not bad. It's not bad. We're definitely not going to get any siege attack going on here, so that's not bad. But yeah, so we're going to do this. The crossbowman would be nice, but not actually relevant for taking this keep. But in order to take the keep, I have to move on to it. So we're not really doing that this turn. I guess I'm just kind of prepping. So we're going to do that. And that gets us 2 cards. Okay. I haven't done an action yet, so we can actually move if we think that's a good choice. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't even have to burn Firebolt on Flame Wall. Because we could use the green crystal on concentration to get block 7. And then play a rage for block 2. Yeah, and then Firebolt. Fire attack 5. That's probably the easiest way to do it. It's expensive, but getting a keep is really nice. Because then we can also recruit out of the keep, such as the crossbowmen. Yeah, okay. Alternative, well, yeah, no, there is no alternative. That is kind of it, so... Concentration with the green crystal, with block 5 to make it block 7. Rage to make it block 9. Oh, also we needed to move on to it. It's just a plains. So that would be stamina to move on to it. Then... So we blocked it fully. And like I said, taking wounds is part of the puzzle. If it would be easier or better, you know, more mathematically advantageous in the long run for you to take the wound instead of dumping your blocks. But I think, like, if I can kill it, like, I think it's more of a question, like, if taking a wound and not blocking would allow you to actually get the kill, that might be worth it. But I don't think I should sweat, like, using blocks to avoid wounds and then using attacks to get the kill. Like, you know, it works as is, so I may as well. So then we're going to play Firebolt to get a red crystal. And then we're going to play... either one, really. We just have to do 4 damage, so I could play Flame Wall or Rage. I I guess I'll use Rage. Yeah, and unfortunately I couldn't use anything in the fucking source this turn. That really blows. Because I also have blue and white crystals in my inventory. Yeah, it just didn't work out. In the long run, had I actually thought about it, we could have used this here. But now that this has been revealed, I can't take that back. In the long run, I could have used stamina, move 4 with the blue sword, and I could have saved swiftness. It's a pretty minor thing, and not like game breaking and like, oh god, why did I do this? But it's, yeah. Had I actually thought I was going to move on to the keep, I could have done that. But I didn't plan out my whole turn. So here we are. All right, that's it. We are level 4. We get a new skill. Look at this. Sprite Negotiation. Influence 3 once per turn during the day or 2 at night. That's a nice little bonus influence, I must say. Motivation. Once per round. Flip this to draw 2 cards and gain a white mana token. Cannot use another motivation skill until the end of your next turn. Or we could take that Taunt. Reduce attack by enemy. 1 attack on an enemy by 1, or increase one attack on an enemy by 2. Reduce armor of the same enemy by 2. It's really good. It's really quite good. In this example, we could have reduced his attack by 1 down to 3, and then we only would have had to have blocked 6 instead of 8. So we could have saved that Rage card, and then I wouldn't have had to spend the red crystal. Is it better, though, than the +3 influence every single turn if I want? I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Bright Negotiation. I don't know. Maybe I just value every turn stuff, but that Taunt is going to be taunting me because that's also once per turn. Okay, we also get an advanced action. Maximal effect. When you play this, throw away another action card from your hand. Use the basic effect of that card 3 times. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing at all. Or for a red mana, you can throw away another action card from your hand. Use the stronger effect of that card 2 times for free. Now, when it says throw away, I assume that means, like, permanently. Where would I even see that? Don't you have a fucking, like, index or... This rulebook could really be rewritten, I must say. I guess I will Google everything. Get rid of it permanently. Yeah, that's not surprising, because that's a really powerful card. Yeah. Ice Shield gives Ice Block 3. It's alright. And then for blue mana, Ice Block 3, reduce the armor of one enemy blocked this way by 3. Armor cannot be reduced below 1. That's also pretty nice. We had that last time, although I don't know if we ever actually used the blue effect there. And then Crushing Bolt is the same as their red one. Gain a green crystal to your inventory, and then spend green mana to do Siege Attack 3. Yeah. Yeah. Annoyingly, that would have solved all my problems instantly, and I would have just spent 2 cards. I would have spent Concentration, 1 green crystal, and then this would have just killed him. The fact that that's the case annoys me enough that I might want to just take it. It's a workhorse card. You know, I like these workhorse cards. I like having a source of siege attack, I would say. I'm a boring man. I'm a very boring man. Alright, that's it. So we get up to 6 cards now. We got 5 left. He has 12 left, so we are really burning through them. However, we're at the keep now. We do have 3 extra influence we can spend. We want to get 6 in order to buy the crossbowmen. Which means we probably want this white effect of Noble Manners in order to get that. And I think we have a very easy play here. Oh, I should process the dummy. That's why he was at 12. Oh, there you go. Now he's at 7. Yes. So this plus Bright Negotiation is 7 total. So we can get the crossbowman. We will do that. We're gonna ditch the peasants then. Just because they're wounded and I don't have to worry about getting them healed or anything. And we're going to buy the crossbowmen. We're also going to gain a fame and a rep off of that. Yeah, we're still at 0, so we'll be at 0. We're just hovering in the 0 territory. If we had more influence, but there's nothing else here that I can buy, so no. And there's nothing else you can do to keep, so that's fine. Good. That was it. I technically could have played move 2 in order to explore, but I'd rather hold off in the hopes of exploring it and then moving on to the next spot. So I don't think there's anything else I want to do. Yeah. I guess that's it. We just have to hope that he doesn't, God. Okay. So 2 more turns. That's probably okay. All right, good. We're going to use stamina now with the blue. That's excellent. So let's move 4. We might move more, but we'll see. Here's the explorer. Cursed hags. That does not look like a cursed hag. That looks like an orc assassin from World of Warcraft. Monastery, though, is pretty appealing. I think what we're going to do is move 4 spaces onto this. We have 2 extra move right now. I'm going to go ahead and march. So that's 4. And there we go there. Shock troops are in this keep. So they have 3 armor, but they have 6 armor until they're successfully blocked. So if you're trying to use snipe, or in this case range, because they ignore sight fortifications, so they are actually unfortified. So if you're trying to use range attacks, though, you have to have 6 total. Then they have 5 physical attack, with nothing special about it. We do have the crossbowman that can do 2, but remember, I cannot generate any other ranged attack. So the most I can do is 5. I also don't have enough move to get on there. I can block them pretty easily with the flame wall if I want to spend... I don't even have a red crystal. Yeah, then never mind. I can't block them too easily. Well... No, I can't block them too easily. I could block them, but I don't think I can... Yeah, I don't have red mana, so... I don't have red mana. It's the end of the discussion, so don't worry about it. It's not happening. As for the green hags, that's going to be a lot easier. I can... Well, I can crystallize, and I can pay one of these 2 in order to get any basic color. And then we could... so I could just trade white to green. And then I could spend the green to do siege attack 3. Oh, no. Well, yeah, I could spend... Yeah, and then I could do siege attack 3 with ranged attack 2. And we could just snipe it and call it a day. I don't know if it's the most efficient way, the best possible thing, but I don't think I'm getting through this without... without burning one of these crystals. Unless I want to wait a turn. But we only have 2 more turns. It would be nice, while I have Bright Negotiation, to actually get to the monastery and buy something like the advance. Like I can get Frostbridge. It's not super good or anything, but it's something. There's also the Illusionists, which are not bad. We could replace our Herbalists with that if we get 7 influence. All right, that's the right symbol. I'm not making... Yes, okay, monastery. So they have influence 4, or gain a white crystal to your inventory, or spend white mana to cause an unfortified enemy to not attack this combat. Which would actually probably make the shock troops quite a lot easier to beat. So yeah, I want to get to the monastery while I have Bright Negotiation and get there. So I think we're going to move this along. So we're going to crystallize. I'm going to spend the white. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If I spend the blue, I can get any color. If I spend this, I get a basic color. I mean, I could get a cool gold, but it doesn't change a whole lot. It's more, do I value holding on to a blue or a white? And I guess I value blue? What do I have left? 2 whites. 1 red, 1 green. Okay, never mind. Then we'll do that. And we're going to grab a green. And then we're going to go into combat. We're going to do this. Siege attack 3 and range attack 2. Total of 5 range attack. Unfortified, no physical resistance. Dead. And that's all she wrote. Okay. All right, so we have to move 4. We can use inspiration to ready the herbalists, and then we can use their green token they give to move 4. I think that's probably the best. I don't even have to. I mean, I have this, but I want to think about that first. So we're going to plan this out. That gets us to the monastery. We need to generate 7 influence. I'm at +0, so, and then this is 3. So I need to generate 4 influence. With improvisation, I can play that and dump a different card, such as Flame Wall, which is not useful anymore. That gets us 5. Threaten, the top gets us 2, so that's 5. That's enough. And then, that's kind of it, really. I think. I can also use the white here on mana draw in order to get 2 mana tokens of any color we want, which could be green. I guess I don't know what this last card is. I'm not allowed to know. Wouldn't I know if I had perfect eidetic knowledge of just exactly what the only card I'm missing is? Well, it doesn't really matter. Well, no, it doesn't really matter. I could set it to red. We could use the bottom of... But I need the move. Yeah, I need the move. Doesn't really matter. I need the move. So no, it doesn't matter. We dump that. That's influence 3, 6. And then we dump threaten. And that's enough. And then that's kind of it. So then we dump the herbalists. And we claim. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this turn. And then, ooh, I like that combo wombo. We use the Illusionist right away to gain a white mana crystal. And then we use Inspiration to ready it. And then we use it again to gain a white mana crystal. I don't know if that's legal. I don't even know where I'd look in the rulebook to see if that's legal. It does not say anything about you can only use a unit once per turn or anything like that. So, far as I'm concerned, that was a legal turn. Brilliant. We got some white mana, baby. The best mana. White mana, baby. That sounds really racist outside of context, but it's a movie reference to you can look it up. White killers and yeah. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Okay. Call end of round. We have one final turn. All we can really do is spend swiftness to explore another tile, which is not bad. Mana draw doesn't get us anything that we care about. We have nothing else. Yeah, I mean, I could have plundered this, but you have to beat a purple enemy to burn it, and you get -3 reputation. So not really great. Nothing's wounded or anything, so yeah, I guess I'll just play swiftness and explore here. Ooh, hot dog. There's one of those refugee camps where you can recruit any type of unit. That's not bad. We might use that next round. But otherwise, I think we're done. I can just play this as a move. It's over, baby! Yeah, we're on round 4. I don't think I'm anywhere close to defeating a city, so this has just kind of been a very lackadaisical game. We will go with Long Night. We're gonna hope for the best. Of course he got one. Of course he did. He's gonna draw white. Yep, he did. Okay, good. All right, we have to really spend some cards here. There's only one spot to explore left? What the hell? But the only tile left? Okay, I don't know. Which is really unfortunate because there's a lot of bullshit here. So he's got walls there. I have to pay 1 extra move to cross it. When challenging rampage enemies across a wall, consider them to be fortified. Okay. It's not a keep or anything, it's just a rampaging enemy. So basically I can't kill him with normal range. That's not bad. That's okay, because we do have concentration. Did I get green? Did I get... Oh, nice. Okay, so yes, we can use concentration, the bottom part, which increases any type of attack by 2, which means Crushing Bolt becomes a siege attack 5. We can just one-shot him with that. So we just have to move onto this maze and then use the green source in order to do it. So, yes, we're going to move 2. Moving more than that doesn't really help us. The hell? Oh, it's very specific. Okay, whatever. Then we're going to play Concentration with this on Crushing Bolt. And that's Siege Attack 5, and he's dead. Done. Done. Good. Oh, I was on a monastery. I should have looked at the units on offer first. No, nothing of value. And it was pretty shitty stuff. But I could have bought an advanced action. I could have bought Mana Storm. Choose a mana die in the source that is showing a basic color. Gain a crystal of that color to your inventory, then immediately re-roll that die and return it to the sword. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Spend a mana, re-roll all dice in the source. You can use 3 extra dice from the source, and you can use dice showing black or gold as mana of any basic color regardless of the round. Pretty good, but somewhat unpredictable, I suppose. Agility, move 2 during combat this turn. You may spend move points to get attack 1 for each, or spend a white mana, move 4 during combat this turn. You may spend any amount of move points, 1 to get attack 1, and or 2 to get range attack 1. Yeah, I mean, I would not dislike it in my deck. Would I have spent 6 influence? Yeah, I mean, I could have done it for free, to be honest. I can still go back. Nothing is stopping me, but we wanted to spend a lot of turns. That would be spending, like, 1 card. Or we wanted to spend a lot of cards. Basically, just do Illusionist for 4 and then Bright Negotiation for 2, and we could get it. And that adds another card to my deck. But I think we are going to go back and do that. Yeah, it costs us very little. In fact, it costs us, like, nothing. And we're not even going to draw, really. Okay. Yeah, agility. Thank you. Okay. I have to play a card, though. That really sucks. I don't really want to play a card, but I have to. So I have to just throw something away to spend my turn. You can't just sit here and turtle forever, I guess. I suppose then get rid of Threaten. Okay, and now we drew our agility. Okay, good. He didn't draw any extra on that one. All right, now we're going to repeat our same thing. We're going to move 2 onto the maze. We're going to concentrate with the green. We're going to use Crushing Bolt for 5, and we get our kill easy. Okay, and then that's good. So we level up with 1 fame. God damn it. Fuck, this is bad. This is bad. That's not good. All right, so to move here, to move across any wall, I have to pay an extra move. So this is 3, and then this is 4 to get to this monastery. Otherwise, to go to the swamp is probably just as bad. It's 5. Yeah, so that's worse. So I need 7 move. We have agility with the white source. That's 4. Alternatively, we use the blue source and we just use one of our white crystals. That gives us move 8 in that case. What the hell happened there? So that gives us 8. Alternatively, we play Mana Draw, which lets us use an additional mana die, and we save the crystal. I don't know if that's really worth it, but I need to spend cards. So I don't need to spend cards, but their cards are not super valuable at the moment. All right, so that's 8 move, which means I can get to the swamp if I want. It's more, does the monastery have value to me? We're on round 4. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to try to burn it. Kill a violent monster. We get fame off of that. And we would get an artifact. So I think I might actually do that. It would be more appealing if I had more card draw. Alternatively, we try to go back and kill the shock troops. But yeah, I guess we'll go here. And then we're going to we're going to end turn. Double red and a black. Ooh, a black. I can play Flame Wave then. Ooh, yeah. Well, no, I can't. Because I can't do the red and the blue. Okay. But we have red, so we can play Flame Wall at the very least. And we can get Firebolt to get... Oh, we can play red Firebolt to get a red crystal, and then we could play Flame Wave, but it's not really advantageous. That gets us up to fire attack 7. But I could just play... Well, yeah, no, I suppose that is pretty good. We also have a lot of range attacks with swiftness and our white crystals, which is not bad. So actually, we can do a lot of range. We might be able to just snipe this dude. Okay. Influence, I do have 4. If I spent the other white crystal, we can get 6 if I want to add Mana Storm to my deck. I don't know if you want to just grab every deck in sight, or every card in sight. I actually have +1 for my rep right now. Let's pretend I live in a world where I do want that. And we get... Oh, process the dummy, yes. Oh, great. Awesome. Great. So we have 4. We have 6. That already is enough. I have 7, actually. That's fine. So 7. That allows us to get Mana Storm. We also then get a Fame and a Rep. We are going to burn that bridge. However, we cannot interact. We cannot use influence. We cannot interact and burn it in the same. Burning is an action, unlike plundering a village. So that's fine. We'll draw Mana Storm. In that case, I don't think there's anything else I really need to do. We're going to hold off. I'm going to use Inspiration. We're going to ready this. I don't know why, but just may as well. It would be nice to use the red, but I mean, you know, it's just nothing I can do. So it just is what it is. Oh, we leveled up off of that. Holy shit. So we have a 3rd command token. I could get scouts for 4 influence, but I'd have to blow another round or a turn, and then that would be the end of the round. So this is the last turn. So Mana Storm lets us get a crystal of any... Yes, we want to do that. Absolutely, we want to do that. So we're going to do this, and that lets us get a red crystal, and then immediately re-roll it and return it to the source. Gold, which is useless. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. Well, it would have been nice, but fine. All right, so then on our turn, we are going to do it. Okay, this is our guy, the Ice Mage. That's okay. That's okay. We got plenty. We cannot use any units. That's pretty bad. But I should have known that, because I read that your units will not join you in burning down the monastery. Okay. So... He's not fortified, but he has ice resistance. That doesn't really impact anything, though. We can't... ice attacks would be halved, and can't be targeted by blue mana or non-attack effective blue cards. Does not matter to us. So that means then we can do... We only need 6. So really I just have to do this plus this. That's 3. And then this. And that's a kill. Done. Snipe his ass. As far as I understand, draw a random violent enemy token to fight. Your units cannot be used in this combat. And that's it. Otherwise, combat is the exact same. It's pretty sweet. Would I have been able to beat him without ranged attacks? Sort of. I would have had to use the red source on Flame Wall to block his hit. And then I would have had to use... Yeah, that would have been significantly harder. It was actually a lot easier to... I think I would have taken a wound. Most likely, and then just fire attack plus an average card. Although, yeah, the fact that you can use... Check 2... Yeah, but it's only 2... I might have had to use a crystal or something. I don't know. It was fine. We did it fine. That's it. That's the end of the round. So we gain 5 fame off of that, but we lose 3 rep back to 0, and it's the end of the whole round. There isn't anything else I can do. I mean, I think we made our best decision. Technically though, I don't know when I could use it, when I'm allowed to use it. I don't know what the order of operations there is. If I can use my unit after combat. Special and healing effects. I think. I mean, I think it's one of those things you can kind of use at any point during your turn unless it specifies otherwise. Doesn't say. I have no idea. I assume it's fine. I don't think there's any restriction. Of what you, yeah, I mean, as long as your turn's still going. That's why, yeah, okay. So yeah, we're gonna use the Illusionist then to gain another white crystal. Pays for itself, baby. Maniacs, you burned it. You burned it all to hell. I did. I done did. So, by burning down the monastery, we mark it with a shield token. We get an artifact as our reward. This monastery is now destroyed, which means no one can ever get anything out of it again, but we get an artifact. So we get to choose from the Circlet of Proficiency. And the way the artifacts work is you can always use the top effect. Normally, it's just a normal card. These don't require mana or anything like that. But if you use the bottom effect, you destroy the artifact. You throw it away. For the top effect, use any non-interactive skill in the common skills offer, including your own, as if it was your skill. If it is a skill usable each turn, one that does not flip, use its effect twice. That's pretty good, man. Take any skill in the common skills offer, including your own, and keep it for the rest of the game as if acquired through a level up. So we could just get a skill, such as Taunt. Know your prey once around. Flip this to ignore one offensive or defensive ability of an enemy token or to remove one element of one enemy attack. Not be used against enemies with arcane immunity. Or the Mysterious Box. Remove and reveal the top card of the artifacts deck. This turn, you may use a Mysterious Box as if it was that artifact. If you do, then Fame +1. At the end of the turn, put the revealed artifact on the bottom of the artifacts deck. If you did not use Mysterious Box, then put it back in your hand. If you place it on a unit as a banner, then discard it. Well, it's a lot more random, isn't it? I think we'll go with the Circlet of Proficiency. It seems pretty good. And that's it. Okay, it's the last round. Great. There's only 2 options, whether I want to go first or whether I want to take a second turn immediately later on. I think we'll just go first. All right. We have not even seen the city, let alone figured out how to defeat a city. So I don't expect our chances to be too high of winning. We gotta explore here. There's nothing else we can do. This monastery is burned to the ground, so there's no point hanging around. So we gotta move, and I do have agility for move 2, or I can improvise for move 3. We got blue, yellow, and green. I think we're gonna use blue, white, and green. We're gonna use white on this for move 4. And we're gonna explore immediately. Fuck, we don't even see the city, so it's over in this direction. That's really bad. To move on to the swamp is 5. Which means that I'd have to burn improvisation. We have 2 remaining right now, so yes, if I burn improvisation and another card. Yeah. I could crystallize for any other basic color using my white crystal. It's a bit of a waste. But then I could do the bottom of improvisation and throw away another card. So that's 3 cards. But that would get us a total of 7 move at this point. So then I can move on to the swamp and explore the next tile. And then we can make a decision from there. I suppose that's fine. So we're going to do this. And then we gain a red crystal. And we're going to spend it right away on improvisation. And then we're going to... we'll throw away rage. That's 7 move I have total. It'll allow me to move here. There's magic familiars there and explore here. That's still not the city. Yeah, we still have yet to find the city. I think I just played incredibly inefficiently. This was really a wake-up call of holy shit, how slow can you go? I just feel like there was so much nasty terrain in my way and walls and stuff like that. Where did that all come from? There's just hills everywhere, deserts. I avoided this, but I should have... But at the time, how did I know? Yeah, we're definitely not winning this. Because at this point now, I have to move a massive amount backward. This is impassable. There's a lake and a mountain. I would need a special card. And the monastery's burned. There is a refugee camp here, which will allow me to hire anything from here. But this is all combat stuff. Attacking the Storm Dragon. Yeah, tricky. He's got 14 armor until successfully blocked, so you better fucking block him. He's got ice attack 4, which I can block pretty easily with determination, block 5, except he's got swiftness, so it's actually 8 when trying to block it, so we'd have to do a little extra. But if we pick up the guardsman, he has block 8 against swiftness, so he would actually be the perfect thing, except he also has ice attack, so the physical ones are halved. So I'd have to play both determination and the guardsman, but I could block it, but then I have to do 7 damage. But I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. The only problem now is I have to move on to this refugee camp. Well, it's the end of my round. I spent my set. I spent 5 to move on to the swamp and 2 to reveal. So the turn's over. There's nothing else I can do. Because the desert is 5. So we're ending our turn. Okay, red's good. Okay, that's lucky. He's only gotten white and blue. But God, if a blue comes up, that's 7 cards gone in one go. Okay. It's starting to get complicated now. Alternatively, we have the magic familiars right here, who have 7. They are unfortified, which way we can actually use ranged attacks to kill them. But I have to generate 7, which is a little easier said than done. The crossbowman can give 2, the firebolt can give 3, and the rushing bolt can give 3. So altogether, that would be doable. And that would be 5 fame. But I also have to move onto it, and it's a swamp, so it's 5 move just to get onto it, and I'd lose another reputation. It would allow us to get a free spell, though, which is kind of nice. We get underground travel to just move 3 spaces, as long as we're not through swamps or lakes. That would allow us to maybe do some nice stuff. Moving 5 is tricky, to say the least. Mana draw lets us use the green. Well, no, we don't even need that. So just before we probably do want to use mana draw, but for that we got 4 move, and then we could use determination to make it 5. Now I might want determination, so we'll slow our roll a little bit, but yes, that gets us 5. That gets us onto the thing. Let's just do that for the moment. 5 done. Now the problem with that, of course, is that the rampaging dragon, a swamp dragon. Yeah, it's rampaging. So he's kind of provoking us right now, but that's one step at a time. So that gets us on there. Now to fight him, we need to generate 7 attack, which is something. We got 2 easily from the crossbow. Done. Alternatively, we could use the illusionist and spend our white crystal to make him so he doesn't attack this turn because he's unfortified, which is handy. And then I just have to generate 7 regular attack. I don't think that's really better, but we could burn one of these other cards and use this as an attack 2, and then he has 3, so that's 5, and then we just use mana draw with Firebolt to generate the last. But I don't know if that's actually better. We could instead gamble, use the white crystal with Mana Storm to reroll all dice in the source, and use 3 extra dice from the source, and use any dice showing black or gold as many as mana of any basic color, regardless of round. That's a gamble. We might be fucked, and once I do that, you know, we're locked in. And we've spent our white. But that might be the best way to go about it. Okay, use our white crystal. And now we're going to re-roll both of these. Okay, that's good. We got black and red. That's pretty good, because we can use black as any basic color. So now we're using him for 2, we're using the red for that, and we're using that for that. Boom. And that's a total of 8, which is enough to kill the magic familiars. We win. That game over. I mean, it doesn't really help us too much. So now we get a spell for free. Which, yeah, there's underground travel. We can move by up to 3 revealed spaces on the map. You may not move to or through swamps or lakes this way. You must end your move on a safe space. Moving this way does not provoke rampaging enemies. So we could move to this green mine using that card, which would allow us to then explore here. That's not bad. That's not the worst thing we could do. Burning Shield gives Fire Block 4. If this card is used as part of a successful block, you may use it during your attack phase as Fire Attack 4. That's pretty good, too. Call to Arms, you may use an ability of 1 unit in the unit's offer this turn as if it were one of your recruits. You cannot assign damage to that unit. That's not bad. Because you could use, like, the swordsman for attack or block 6, and it doesn't even become wounded. So that's pretty good. And we can generate white mana fairly easily. But I don't think that gets us out of our current situation, unless I want to fight the swamp dragon. We're never getting a city. I mean, just get it out of your head. This is a failed conquest for sure, but it was my first conquest. It's a learning experience. We obviously have to be a lot faster on exploring. We want to locate the castle and then worry about everything else. Yeah, to beating the swamp dragon, we would need 10 block or 9 ranged attack. 10 block, and if we fail to block the whole thing, he has poison on top of it, which is it's just a massive amount of wounds. So bypassing that feels pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, he is worth 7 fame, which is a hell of a lot of fame, but I think we're gonna go for underground travel, and there's a green in the source, so we can use it right away. Okay. And that's it. Yeah. We do have 7 influence between the illusionist and our skill. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Okay. We do have 7 influence, so we want to sit here and purchase another spell. We could get Burning Shield or Demolish to ignore site fortifications this turn, and enemies get armor -1. That's not bad. I think that might be what I do. How much is the spell? 7. So, yeah, we have enough. But if we do that, I have to use this to get Illusionist back in order to get a white crystal or something. But honestly, it's not the worst idea. So 7, and then that gives us... I don't know. What am I liable to have more mana of? White or red? I have no idea. I have a red. I have... Yeah, I guess red is more like... I have the Firebolt, so I guess that. So it's between Burning Shield or Demolish. Ignoring site fortifications is kind of good. We could just snipe something with all our ranged attacks, including our crossbowmen. Whereas Fire Block is fine. 4 isn't very much. But 4 extra attack, all for 1 red mana, is kind of pretty efficient. I'll go Burning Shield, but I'm going to regret it. Okay. Unfortunately for that, we spent a whole turn here, so we have to spend a card in order to do something. I'm inclined to maybe use Rejuvenate. Just use it. Just use it. I definitely want a green in the source, so we're going to use this as green. I can gain a green mana crystal if we don't want to draw a card. If we don't want to draw 2 cards. We don't want to rush this too much. I can also ready one of my units. So we could use that to ready the Illusionist. It's a pretty inefficient thing to do, I feel, compared to gaining the green crystal, but yeah, the Illusionists are pretty damn nice, so I guess I'm gonna do that, and that's our turn. Okay, red, nice. Okay, good, that's excellent. Alright, we got our Burning Shield now. Alright, yeah, so we're going to do underground travel with the green from the source. And that's going to allow us to move 3 spaces, or up to 3 spaces here. Because it has to be to... You must end your move on a safe space. I think you could... No, this is enemies, so no, you wouldn't. But you enter the site, so I think you could land on this. I think that's legal. But I'll end on here, because then... yeah, that's fine. We're going to do March. Yeah, that's probably fine. We're going to explore this, but if I do that... Well, I don't really have an option. No, I don't really have an option. I don't have any extra move. So it's fine. There it is, the castle. We've found it. That seems rough. Whatever it is, it seems rough. Okay. City. The city assault. It's PvP and it's a city assault. It works the same as assaulting any other fortified site, but in addition to the fortification, each city gives a bonus to the defending units. See the upper part of the corresponding city card. +1 armor in the white city. In the blue city, all defenders get +2 attack if they have ice attack or fire attack, +1 attack if they have cold fire attack. In the red city, all defenders that have physical attack gain the brutal ability. And in the green city, all defenders that have physical attack gain the poison ability. So you have to fight them all at once. It's not like sequential, it's all at the same time. That seems kind of crazy. Combat starts by drawing and or revealing all enemies you have to fight. Yeah. So you'd have to fight simultaneously 2 dungeon monsters and the city garrison. I don't know what that looks like. It looks like this, I guess. Fucking Alta Mages. Who have 8 armor with physical resistance, 4 cold fire attack, that's poison and brutal. Delightful. And this is the green city, so all physical attacks are poisonous. Interesting. To even get onto the city at this point, though, I have to move through a forest, which is 3, and then onto the swamp, which is 5. I need 8 movement from this point to get onto the city, and it's the final round, and I have 8 cards left. That is a really challenging spot to get onto. So no, I don't think we're gonna do it. Yeah, I think we're gonna end our turn here, and we'll just see what's what. Oh, goody. Okay, two turns left. Awesome. Shit, man. Shit, man. That's really not good. I have just no movement. I've picked up no good movement abilities. Oh, I picked up that spell. But I guess we probably need. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's the luck of the draw and things like that. But I could have gone to the monastery and gotten Stout Resolve. Things like that. Or I could have picked up characters that actually give movement. Units that give movement. Yeah. Fuck, it's just so hard to get to it. You need more card draw is the problem. But at this point, like, I'm so stuck. The Swamp Dragon's there. I could try to kill the Swamp Dragon, but that doesn't really help me. It just burns a lot of cards. But yes, I could try. We just need 9 ranged attack. I can ready this for 2. That's something that could happen. And we could do concentration with swiftness. That's 5, so we have 7. I just need 2 extra, and I don't have 2 extra, so that's the end of that discussion, I suppose. I have nothing that lets me draw more cards. So no. Bummer. It's kind of a bummer. So then you have to block the Swamp Dragon, which is 10 block, which is quite a lot of block. I can alternatively use a white mana and the Illusionist to cause him to not attack this combat, which is probably a lot easier than trying to generate that much block out of thin air. I don't have a white mana, but I could play concentration on that in order to get it. So say we do concentration, we get the white mana, put it on the Illusionist, he doesn't attack, and we just have to do 9 damage with whatever. That means that we can then use the red source on... Well, no, we can't use it on that. That's useless then. So it'd have to be on Rage for 4. I can do mana draw to use both reds, but again, Burning Shield only does anything if we use it for a block. We're skipping that. I can't get enough block otherwise. They ain't worth it. We could take wounds. This is one of those situations where we could actually take wounds. But this says it's only applied during a successful block, that would be not successful. I could use the Crossbowman for block 3. That gets us up to 7, which is a bit shy of the 10 we need. I could use Rage to block 2, and then we dump a card like Noble Manners. And that's a total of 10. Yeah, okay. Okay. Hold on, let me think. So... But ideally we use the fire block and the attack 4, but I don't know if I... Well, I do kind of need that. But this only works if it's a successful block. Okay, so that's 7. That's 7. I need 3 more. I have no other block except for Rage, unless I dump 3 cards. We may as well dump 3 cards, I suppose. We use this to let us use double red. We dump Swiftness as a block. We dump... No, but that doesn't work then. Well, not without using a crystal. Yeah, that doesn't really work. We can get this. which is then 9 block, but I'm still 1 short. I have to dump another card. I'd have to spend a crystal, which I guess at this point is the least of my concerns. So you dump that, but in that case, you may as well dump concentration, I suppose. That would allow us to keep a crystal. So that's for 7 plus 3, that's 10 block. So this would be used if we do that. Okay, that's 10 block. He's fully blocked. Then we have to apply 9 damage. Can I even do that? I don't think so, because I think the whole idea was using concentration in order to get the improved effect of rage. To make it 6 plus 4 is 10. Um, so no. So then we would do mana draw. Okay, fine. So this is here, this is here. We play concentration. We need green, which would be this. And that plays the bottom part of rage. And that is a total. That's 10 block and that's 10 attack. Done. Jesus. Okay, I at least could do that. I just burned everything I had. So, GG. Okay, but we do get a crystal again out of here, which I think was green. So that's nice. We get a new skill token. Leadership. Once a turn, when activating a unit, add +3 to its block, or +2 to attack, or +1 to its ranged, not siege attack, regardless of its element. Well, for our crossbowman, it's very versatile. It's pretty nice. Whisper in the treetops. Once per round, flip this to gain 1 white crystal and 1 green token. I mean, yeah, it's basically this turn, and that's it. It's not bad, though. Know your prey. Yeah, to ignore defensive or offensive ability or to remove an element of an attack. And then taunt, which probably would have paid fucking dividends had I picked that first. But I think the skills I have picked did kind of pay off. Not enough, too little, too late, but yeah. I guess we'll just go for Whisper in the Treetops. Once per round, except during interactions, 1 card played sideways is worth +4. For each command token without a unit, gain an extra +1. And then next turn only, you may reduce the armor of an enemy by 1. And attack the same or another enemy by 1. What a fucking tense token. Jesus. And it's like, oh, yes. Yes, I remember this token, of course. I know what all this means, and it's simple. It's crazy, man. Thank God for these tooltips. All right. And then we get an advanced skill. Temporal Portal is an action to move to an adjacent revealed safe space without provoking rampaging monsters. And then your hand limit is higher by 1 the next time you draw cards. Or for spending a blue mana, you can either move 2 spaces to a revealed safe space instead of 1, or get your hand limit increased by 2 instead of 1. So we could teleport 2 spaces away to a safe spot. It doesn't really help us that much. We could get nowhere. We're just a little too far. Like, we can't go into the city. So we can get to the village, but what the hell good does that do me? I can buy another crossbowman, maybe. Honestly, at this point, that's probably the best thing I could do. Power of Crystals. You gain a crystal to your inventory of a basic color you do not already own. It's a very nice card to have, like, early on. Or by spending, I assume, a green or blue. You can move 4 or heal 2 or draw 2 cards. For each set of 4 different color crystals in your inventory, move 2 or heal 1 or draw a card. Jeez. And then Into the Heat. Play this card at the start of combat. All your units get their attack and block values increased by 2 this combat. You cannot assign damage to your units this turn. For a red mana, all your units get their attack and block values increased by 3 this combat. Depending on your unit selection, that's crazy good, man. All right, we're just going to take the Temporal Portal then. And we'll try to make this work. All right. And of course, we got a lot of movement. Of course. We're going to just use Whisper. Well, no, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. All right, we're gonna play Temporal Portal. And then we're gonna use this gold as a blue in order to teleport 2 spaces over to the village. And then I do have some influence. I guess I could also plunder it, but that doesn't really do anything. We're gonna draw up to 6 no matter what, so it doesn't do anything. Um, I can get the guardsman if that was something, or I could get the crossbowman. I guess I'd rather have the guardsman. So that's 5 influence. We're still in the day, so this is 3, and then we can play threaten for 2. So whoop-de-dee. Um, then that's kind of it, really. I mean, what else are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's it. That's it. Okay. Calling around. We do have the circular proficiency. I can use any non-interactive skill in the common skills as if it was my skill. And if it was once per turn, I use it twice, which means we could use leadership. I could use this twice. This is a pretty crazy amount. I could also do forward march twice. So that would give me move 1. That would give me move 2 for each ready and unwounded guy. So I would get 4 move just out of using that. Uh, which would allow me to get there. I can't take the city. Like, it would be insanely impossible, but you could. Says use any non-interactive skill. I'm not quite sure what that means. I think an interactive skill is for multiplayer. I think. I think that's what that means. Um, Probably. It's really not a good book. I think it's just not great. Like an index would do. Like I'm playing Arkham Horror, the card game too. They have a whole glossary of every big term, and you can just look it up and be like, "There you go. That's the definition." I want to know what fucking interactive means. I don't know. I think it's a multiplayer thing, but I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. I guess I could Google. I know my music ended, but I think this game's almost over. Interactive skill. Designed to directly affect other players. I think those are all removed from solo play automatically, so we don't have to worry about that. How the pack would let me do the play a card sideways for 4, and then that's about it. Know your prey would ignore an offensive or defensive, and then taunt would reduce an attack of an enemy by 1 or increase an attack by 2 to reduce the arm of the same enemy by 2. I guess probably leadership is fine unless I need help moving on to it, which I kind of do. Well, we can also destroy the artifact, but honestly, it's kind of irrelevant. I mean, the game's over, so no, taking the skill doesn't do anything. Um, so yeah, I kind of do need help moving, but most of I mean, this is yeah. I guess I don't need help moving because we can just play this, and that's 6 move, and then we move on to here. Good God, a Hydra. a crypt worm, and gunners. All simultaneously, all up your ass. That is an insane amount of just death. But we did use leadership twice, so our guardsmen can actually block like, oh god, 10, or he could attack 6. That's all it affects because the illusionists don't have any of that, and the crossbowmen are not involved. I guess we also would have used this, but it doesn't. Like, we're not winning this. It's just kind of a curiosity that we're gonna play out. Um. So how exactly each attack has to be handled, blocked, or get their damage assigned separately. Effects that prevent an enemy from attacking prevent all their attacks. An enemy is considered successfully blocked if all its attacks are blocked. Okay, so we have to just do all this one by one and take whatever it is. But we don't have enough killing potential. I don't even have a white crystal. Well, I guess I do because of this. We gain a white crystal and 1 green token, but the green token doesn't matter. So okay. So swiftness can get us range attack 3. The problem is it's fortified, right? The whole city is cities are fortified 100%, right? How could they not be? It's a fortified site. Yes. Defending, so no, we can't use range attacks for anything except after blocking. I don't know if I'll even survive, but I guess you can always survive, I think. Um, it's just bad. It's just bad news. We're gonna have a bad score, and it's not gonna be pleasant. We can have the illusionist go, but we can't have the illusionist go because they have to be unfortified. So the only thing the illusionist can do is gain a white crit. The illusionist is now useless, unfortunately. I don't think you can divide block amongst multiple things. So, I suppose we'd want him to block. But this is 3 attacks. They all have to be blocked separately, is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying? Multiple attacks. Each attack has to be handled separately, blocked or get their damage assigned separately. Yeah, okay. Which means that I suppose the best thing for the guardsman to block is going to be the crypt worm, because that'll just block it completely, and that's it. That's done. Um, I can block with flame wall 7, which means, but the gunners are fire attacks, so your fire blocks are halved. I also can't kill anything really. They also all have poison, but whatever, it doesn't matter at this point. I may as well use the illusionist to get another white crystal just for fun. Um, so the cryptworm's blocked. The flame wall can block one thing, but not really of anything. So okay, I guess we're just taking it then. Doesn't matter. So then they all have poison. So if we put it to our units, you get 2 from the Hydra. You get 2 from the Hydra. You get, no, I'll take 2 from the Hydra. It's fine. So these go in my hand. Okay. And then the gunners, you're going to take 2 from him and reduce it by 4. And then there's still 2 left over, so I'll take 2 more from that. And then it's over. Then we could do damage, of which I can play Flame Wall along with this. Well, no, I guess I'll just play that. Okay, and we can do that, and I can kill one thing, which I suppose would be the Hydra. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I guess I'd kill the gunners. It's worth 2 more. The Hydra's just a lot more fucking dangerous. But it doesn't matter because the game's over, so It doesn't matter. I may as well get my most points possible. Um, yeah, so I guess it would be the gunners. In the case of me failing to take the fortified location, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. City assaults, blah blah blah. Combat outcomes. If you did not defeat all the enemies in sight, if you failed to defeat an enemy, the monster den, fortified site, you have to withdraw back to the space you were attacking from. This withdrawal does not count as forced withdrawal. Okay. Okay. So we did kill the gunners, but we're going to move. It's well, if I do that, it's going to move all of them back. But we can take the gunner into my spot. I think. Do I have to kill all of them? I don't think so. Put one of your shield tokens on the city card for each enemy you defeated. No, I mean I think you get it. It's just yeah. Yeah, okay. That would be it. That's the end of the turn. So I do level up one last time for whatever good that does me. So then our score 65. Yeah, I mean we got -8 for the 4 wounds we took at the end, and we only got 3 points instead of 6 for our wounded units. But all things considered, that's a lot better than me taking an extra 6 wounds. Not great. 65 points and not actually beating the scenario is not great. But it was a learning experience for sure. We realized we have to go a lot faster. 5 rounds can go by quite quickly. We need better movement. We need more movement. We got to really haul ass to find the city and just more efficiency, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. You got to play a lot. I don't think it's meant to be an easy game. Solo games often are not easy games because you're meant to really sink your teeth in them over and over and just improve mentally and understand all the inner work. And this is a complicated game. There's so many decisions, like micro decisions. Every single thing you do is a micro decision that you're making. Everything is like, this could have been better. I could have done this instead. This could have been improved. Just an insane amount of little micro decisions throughout a game like this. And this is the shorter scenario, like you can't even imagine full big conquest of multiple cities across 8 rounds or whatever. Just how many decisions add up over and over. It is very entertaining though how strong and powerful you can theoretically grow. You look at these spells, you look at these advanced actions, the elite, the units. We didn't even see any elite units. I don't know when those show up or anything. The artifacts as well. Um, it can get pretty crazy like that one that allows me to just do something like this and then double it when I play one card for no mana. I mean, that's a crazy amount of power off of one manaless card. So artifacts can be pretty fucking big, I think, and choosing when to burn a monastery versus just passing it by, and when you can, being able to successfully take something on, um even if you take a wound or two, doing something versus not doing something, and just passing it by versus um really just hauling ass and exploring more to find out optimal locations of things and what you can take on, and revealing tokens during the day to determine what's the most worth it to do. I mean, some of these things are, keeps are good. keeps are definitely good. The more card draw you can get, the more you can do in one given turn rather than stretching it out over multiple turns. Normally, that wouldn't be that big of a deal, but because of the dummy player, you are on a time limit, and that's why the dummy player is pretty important. If I just had infinite time, I could just kind of slowly walk about, but also just, yeah, accumulating power in one turn compared to just I have 5 cards at any given time. Compared to I have 9 cards this turn, I can do a fuck ton. I can easily take on a mage tower. I can easily take on a keep. And doing that, the keep and being able to recruit the keep units and stuff like the swordsman, or getting the mage tower and being able to get a free spell. I mean, that's a big multiplier to your power compared to just walking around and fighting prowlers over and over. That's not really going to make you too powerful very quickly. It's not like you get gold or something out of that. You just get a little bit of XP. So these big impactful stuff, it's really important to be able to take that um efficiently. Like here, you can take on this. This is a dungeon monster and a dragon monster. That's really hard, but if you succeed successfully, you get 2 artifacts, which is a huge power boost. Um, and so yeah, that might be your entire round is just doing that, but getting 2 artifacts for one of your rounds is kind of impactful. Assuming you can do it without taking a massive amount of wounds. There's a lot to it. It's a very interesting game. It's extremely interesting, I must say. There is actually sort of a digital version. It's called, I think, Paladin's Oath. Um, I don't know if it's any good. I don't know how direct of an adaptation it is, but I have heard it talked about in the Mage Knight circles. And if you look at screenshots of it, it's way more like cartoony, like sort of mobile game aesthetic. But it definitely, you see like the double-sided cards, the mana, the basic mana stuff, the hexes, um, gaining XP and stuff like that. The enemies that have armor, the attack, frost attack, like it's all just like kind of reskin Mage Knight. Um, I don't know if I doubt it's better than just playing this because this is pretty slick. I don't know. It might be worth me checking out and just taking a look at it to see if it's better. Um, I don't know. There's a lot of positive reviews on it. This is basically Mage Knight Digital. Very, very impressive. Great game if you're a fan of the board game Mage Knight. I don't know. It might be worth checking out, but Mage Knight in general, very good. We will attempt this again for sure. We're gonna try it until we beat it. God damn it. For now, though, my name is Mangg. This has been Mage Knight, and I'll see you fine folks next time.